So now we're recording.
The Council of Casuals has convened for an emergency session to discuss the new announcements for Phase 2 of SOD, Season of Discovery in World of Warcraft.
Perfect.
It's time for the news!
So we are making a bonus episode, an emergency bonus episode, to try and be cutting edge with the news.
A news flash.
A news flash, so to speak.
We're going to need you to flash for the...
Yeah, there's no video right now. Are you actually wearing a bra?
I am.
Oh, weird. So yeah, they announced sometime yesterday or early this morning the details. It was probably yesterday. The details for Phase 2 of Season of Discovery, and we went through and we looked at them, and we want to get in early on the discussion and reaction of it. So I watched the video. I made some notes. I read through the blurb they posted.
I thought we would do that while we're here, so I'm not up to par.
Well, I figured it'd be easier if we looked at it first. So basically, there's a few things. So let's start with the new raid, because that's where the video started.
What's a Nomer?
Nomergon.
That's the new raid. So
is it Nomeron or Nomergon?
It's Nomergon, apparently. That's how they pronounced it in the video.
You're hoping one day that would just be Nomergon.
I don't know. I might like it. I didn't like it as a 5-man dungeon because it's so out of the way as well. So there's going to be...
It's not.
It is. When you're Horde.
No.
Yeah.
Just go down to Ratchet, head over to Booty Bay, talk to Chief Engineer Scooty, and you get there. Easy peasy pumpkin pie.
Who's Chief Engineer Scooty?
He's in Booty Bay.
What does he do?
He's got the teleporter.
There's a teleporter to Nomeron?
Nomergon, yes.
Since when?
When did it come out?
Nomeron? I don't know.
Since then.
Has there always been a teleporter?
Okay, so I started
thought you had to run there.
I started in the Burning Crusade era. So as far as I know, at least since then. But I'm going to guess, we can always look up on Wowhead and see when Chief Engineer Scooty was put into the game. What patch?
I had no idea there was a teleport to Nomeron. I've always just run there.
So maybe you wouldn't have been as annoyed with it if you'd actually just used the teleporter.
Yeah, and it's kind of a lame dungeon. But so is that just for Horde then? Because Alliance, you can just fly to Ironforge.
Yeah, I believe it is just for Horde.
Okay. So anyways, Nomeron's the new raid. There's 6 bosses, so there's a new boss. They didn't give any details on the new boss, so I don't know about that.
Ooh, what's he about?
I don't know. They didn't give any details. So there's 100 new items.
Wait, are they grime encrusted?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, good.
Oh, I hated that too, where you had to put the things in the things. That was stupid. 3 times the epics that BFD had. And new item sets, profession quest chains. So a bunch of new stuff. They have, as far as items go, the manual crowd pummeler. Do you remember that? Do you remember having to farm that?
Yes.
Guess what they changed about that?
The manual crowd pummeler.
Guess what they changed about it?
Oh, it's... I read this somewhere. I don't remember, though. They changed something with its ability.
Yeah, it's no longer 3 charges. It's just a cooldown now. So you only have to get 1.
Yeah, but there's something else about it that made me say, ooh, but we'll see.
Oh, I don't know. I've never used one because I wasn't a druid, so...
But yeah, I mean, having 3 charges was kind of lame.
Yeah, and having to farm bags full of them before a raid, that's just stupid. So that has changed.
So no more freaking headaches going into that Nomergon just to get the manual crowd pummeler through the back door.
Yeah. Well, I guess you would know all this.
Yeah, I got the manual crowd pummeler through the back door. It was not fun.
Gross.
You like the back door?
It was the fastest way to get the manual crowd pummeler.
So another thing I noticed, though, one of the pieces of gear has nature resist on it.
Yeah.
Remember I was saying I think that there's going to be nature resist involved with this raid? I think there might be. I'm having hope.
Yeah.
And there's radiation vents added to one of the boss fights.
Yeah.
So would that be nature resist? Radiation vents? It's green. Green is nature, right?
Heat. Fire.
Maybe.
Radiation. No, it just says radiation, not heat or fire. So
there was also arcane damage on the same piece of gear, so I don't know. We'll see about that.
I don't know who wrote these notes, but could the re actually be nature resist?
I was typing fast while watching a video. Could there actually be nature resist needed in this raid is my question.
Now what's this? A new area for the crowd pummeler?
Yeah, they've moved him. So he's so think crowd pummeler, right? He punches and knocks back. So they've moved the area where you fight him to a platform above a pit of death.
I was going to say, you better be on a platform.
He is, and there's like a crowd like bleachers and people watching the fight as well. So
Ooh, it's an arena.
yeah, it's kind of it's an elevated arena. I can show you. Let me find.
Hold on a sec. The whole thing about Nomergon, it was like a factory, right? Now they have an arena in the factory. That doesn't make sense.
That is the platform for the manual crowd pummeler.
They have an arena in the factory.
It's not an arena; it's a platform, and they
They said they have crowds watching.
Yeah, they set for the factory workers. It's during break. During break in the factory, they go watch the newcomers get punched by a crowd pummeler.
So Nomergon is the Google of Blizzard.
Basically, yeah. Google, commonly known to have death matches during their lunch breaks.
Yeah. Well, and
So-
everything else you could possibly want during their lunch breaks.
course.
I want to work for Google.
That would be cool. Also, the set pieces, they're based on tokens now, like they do in the new versions of the games. So rather than having this massive loot table,
Yay.
you roll on the token and you turn it in for your class's set piece of gear, which works way better because you don't run into the problem where, oh, look, the warlock gear dropped and there's no warlocks in our raid.
Except, Josh, your luck of never winning rolls, you are now rolling against more people.
That's true, but there's also more chance of my thing dropping. Which I finally got my legs today, by the way, after getting the Cobron's belt like 8 times in a row.
Yeah. I still offered to help you, but...
I can solo it. It's
He
easy.
says, yeah, but I could have soloed it faster.
I know. So that's it for Nomeron. It sounds like a cool raid. I don't know. I want to get a group together so we can actually do it as a guild.
How many people do we need?
10. It's a
Oh.
10-man. And the last boss, the new boss is the last boss.
And
We
what's
don't
he
know-
about?
We don't know anything about him yet.
Is it going to be as hard as RBDF, BFD, BG,
Yes.
DW? I don't know the.
Yes.
I don't know. I've never
Which
done
is
BFD.
which is
It's gonna be
supposedly it's going to be it's higher level. It's probably going to be the same
But
difficulty
BF,
ish.
what are the letters? Was
BFD.
really hard, and I.
It
didn't
wasn't
even
that
finish
hard.
it.
We just sucked.
Oh,
I've never done BFD on this
It's not hard.
sod.
We just suck. So another cool thing.
My friends
after-
went without me.
Well, you
Just
were
saying.
you
weren't
were
online.
you weren't
were
online.
At work.
I don't even know what you just said.
Sam's rambling. So another cool thing. Remember in the episode that we released at the time of this episode being released, like 2 hours ago,
Yeah.
we were complaining about shamans, how their weapon enhances were only 5 minutes, and how that's a pain in the butt. And I was like, yeah, same with paladin blessings. They're only 5 minutes. That's a pain in the butt. I hope they do something about that.
Do I have to open up the runes?
No, this isn't even a rune. They've solved that. They haven't announced all of them, but there's a bunch of like abilities you can learn that drop in 5-man dungeons. One of them, it makes the 5-minute blessings for paladins longer. So
Did they
I'm
say how much longer?
I don't think it says. Let me just check.
I'm thinking 10 minutes, but I want to push it to 30.
It doesn't say. It just says Testament of Enhanced Blessings teaches you enhanced blessings. So they will last longer. They said that in the video. There's also the Manual of Redirect for rogues. You know how when you do combo points and then you switch targets, your combo points poof?
Yes.
You can now switch them to your new target.
Okay.
So as a rogue, you can build up combo points, swap it to your new target, so you don't waste all the combo points if you don't pop off an ability before the mob dies.
Oh, that's going to create a headache for me.
And
I'm going to have to start actually paying more attention.
Totemic projection, I don't remember what they said that did, but it is a thing. So there are also, it's saying there's going to be more. These do not take up rune slots. So I'm hoping for Shaman's sake, maybe there's one that makes their stuff last longer. I don't know. Like maybe
the
for,
Shaman Viagra.
maybe for druids, they'll do something with their res that I was complaining about. That would be cool.
What's wrong with their res?
The
Say that
res,
again?
it's a 30-minute
I wasn't
cooldown,
listening.
and you need a reagent
Oh,
for
the
it.
druid.
Well, the reagents, I'm fine with reagents.
I don't care about the reagent. It's the 30-minute cooldown that gets me.
Yeah.
Like, they should change it more to like it is in Wrath.
Well,
Like, what is it,
shamans,
like a
shamans
five-
can just cast it.
What are you doing? There's like a 5-minute cooldown.
Shamans can just cast.
I know.
So don't give the druids the
Never
shaman
mind.
ability. Let the shaman do it. Fuck the druid.
No, but I mean just as a res, because priests also get a res, paladins get a res, lots of classes get a res. The difference is the druid one is every half an hour, which sucks.
But druid one is also a battle res.
Yeah, so make it use a reagent.
They just don't want the druid to
Give it a
bring
5-minute
everybody
cooldown.
up.
Give it a 5-minute cooldown so that you're not using it more than once in a fight, or make it so that that you get a debuff that you can't use it until you drop combat or something. Like make it so you can only use one in a battle. That's great, but like 30-minute cooldown.
I don't like that. Well, I guess
What
so.
if-
Like
what
they
if
like they
you're
did
in a
with the
group?
health potions.
Yeah, what if you're in a group and you're the only healer and a couple and 2 party members die? You can only res one of them.
So pick your favorite.
Is one of them you?
Is one of them me? If
Yeah.
I'm the druid?
No, if you're the dead one, is one of them you?
Sure.
Okay, I pick the other guy.
Okay, see that's the problem though. You can't there's
what I
no
said, pick your
group there's no
favorite.
group recovery. It's a useless res aside from the battle res aspect of it. Which I think is silly. But we're getting
Well, then-
sidetracked
then
because
how-
we're talking about the phase 2 stuff.
How about an additional ability, an out of combat group res for the druid?
Sure. I mean, or just
And
let
one
them do
battle
the single
res.
one, the single target more than once. Make the battle res a separate thing. Make the reagent more expensive. I don't care what you do. Just make it so I can res more than one person in half an hour. So
Don't make it more expensive. I don't make gold like you do.
I don't mean like.
Or
I don't mean
I
like
should
10
follow you
gold
like Sam.
expensive. I mean just normal expensive.
I should follow you and Sam. Steal some of Sam's money.
So they've also
Some of my money.
Sam's up to like 80 gold.
Yeah.
They've also announced some new runes.
What's your farming secret?
Following Josh around.
Oh,
Yeah.
No leather.
Yeah, leather's been okay. So there's some new runes. Do we want to go over those real quick?
sure. Can I get on that page?
So we've got for Druid. Let's start with Druid because that's where the page starts here. We've got Eclipse. Starfire increases the critical strike chance of your next 2 Wraths by 30%, and Wrath increases the critical strike chance of your next Starfire by 30%. So I think they want us using both of those. Both effects stack up to 4 charges. Both spells also gain 70% chance at all times not to lose casting time when you take damage. So that's a buff to the Moonkin style Druid. And then you've got King of the Jungle, Tiger's Fury. So that's like your little mini cooldown that adds
Yeah.
like 10 damage or something. It now increases all physical damage you deal by 15% instead of a flat value, and instantly grants you 60 energy, which is also nice. And it's no longer on the global cooldown, so you could macro it into abilities.
Cool.
So that's kind of cool. It has its own 30-second cooldown, but it lasts like I can't remember, like 15 seconds. You can keep it. You can have it up most of the time.
You know what I say about that?
What?
I just can't wait to be king.
Paladin runes. We'll be quick with these because none of us play a paladin because we're all horde and alliance suck. Sheath of Light, dealing damage with your melee weapon, increases your spell power amount by equal to 30% of your attack power for 1 minute.
You're in a different order than I am in here.
In addition, your critical healing spells heal the target for 60% of the amount healed over 12 seconds. Okay, that's kind of cool. Guarded by the light. Each time you hit a target with your melee weapon, you gain 5% of your maximum mana per 3
Guarded
seconds
by the
for 15
light.
seconds. But the amount healed by your flash of light, holy light, etc., is reduced by 50%. So that's a mana regen rune right there.
Can I do the next one?
Sure.
So the next one, melee specialist. Engrave your belt
Well,
with
what class is this?
Hunter.
Okay.
Hunter. Melee specialist. Engrave your belt with the melee specialist rune. Right, okay, I read something I didn't have to. Raptor strike. Cooldown reduced.
Get your lips off your microphone.
You're talking so loud.
Raptor strike. Cool. Don't touch me there.
Why do you have it so close to your face?
The way I do it at home.
You always lean in when you start talking.
Raptor strike cooldown reduced to 3 seconds and is now instant. Why are you turning me down or up now?
Down.
Because I moved away.
Yeah, but you're still.
Yeah, because I moved away. My instinct was to talk louder. Mongoose bite cooldown removed, and Raptor strike has a 30% chance on each attack not to trigger its cooldown. Ooh, yay!
Next one, the next
this
one's
one.
you.
This is why I want it for Sam. Trap launcher.
Yeah, I know. Josh told me about that. I'm
You're-
kind of excited about that one.
Your traps can now be placed at any location within 40 yards and can be placed while you are in combat. Additionally, your fire-based and frost-based traps now have a separate shared cooldown. That is nice. So you can go bing bing.
Yes, that's the trap launcher is going to be huge.
do you want
I think
now?
hunters are going to love that. Warriors next.
Why am I in a different order?
I have no idea. Are you on the same page as me?
I doubt it. Go ahead. I'll find you.
Okay, so warrior runes. We got Rallying Cry, which sounds a lot like Commanding Shout. Let loose a Rallying Cry, granting all party and raid members within 40 yards 15% increased maximum health for 10 seconds. Oh, only 10 seconds? I missed that part somehow before.
10
I
seconds
don't
is
like-
longer than most fights.
Yeah, but I mean, not boss fights. And then we got Blood Surge, Heroic Strike, Bloodthirst, and Whirlwind have a 30% chance to make your next slam within 15 seconds instant. Oh, and cost no rage. The no rage part's kind of cool. Because they had a similar, I think they had a similar thing to that in for Wrath Warriors, but I think the slam still costed rage.
Yeah, my page is in alphabetical order. I don't know why yours
Oh,
is.
Rogue's Nest. Why don't you do Rogue?
Okay, so where's Rogue fall in the alphabet?
Right after W, according to my page.
Ooh, shuriken toss. Throw a shuriken at your enemy, dealing damage equal to 25% of your attack power, and also strike up to 4 additional nearby targets. Awards 1 combo point.
So there's some. That's almost Fan of Knives.
It's almost Fan of Knives. So do I have to go shuriken every time I throw it? I'm going to.
Yeah, you should macro it in to do
I'm
a
gonna macro that sound in, yeah. And then Master of Subtlety. Make a roll for subtlety, please. Wasn't that you?
Yeah.
Attacks
House
made.
roll.
Attacks made while stealth and for 6 seconds after breaking stealth cause an additional 10% damage. So that sounds like a already existing ability just brought down to this level.
So what
I
we
like
got
the
next?
shuriken toss. Shuriken toss. I don't do a lot of subtle stuff.
Yeah.
I pretty much just walk up like I'm a warrior.
And they're only listing like 2, with the exception of Shaman. They're only listing 2 runes per
Is it
class.
telling you where
So there's
they
going to be
go?
a bunch of extras. Yeah. The subtlety is they're boots and
I
belt.
only care about, okay, so
They're
what
doing
about
one-
the hunter?
The hunter, we did the hunter already.
Boots and
she wants to
belt.
know where it
Melee
goes.
specialist is belt,
Oh,
and
they're all
trap
boots
launcher
and
is
belt.
boots. Yeah, they're just announcing 1 boot and 1 belt for each class. Again, with the exception of Shaman, they released extra. So for Priest, we've got Mind Spike, blasts the target for 108 to 126 Shadow Frost damage, and increases the critical strike chance of your next Mind Blast on the target by 30%, stacking up to 3 times.
That means so
And
much to
this
me.
one is big. Pain Suppression. Instantly reduces all damage taken by a friendly target by 40% and increases resistance to dispel mechanics by 65% for 8 seconds.
The
I
tank
know
savior.
That is a huge raid cooldown to use in Wrath.
Yep.
People were constantly calling for pain suppression, so
Yep.
that's a big one.
Yeah. What are we doing next?
Warlock.
Do you want to read that one, Sam?
No.
We don't want Sam to read things.
You sure? Be participatory? Okay, I can read
She
it.
can't. She's not good at reading for the purpose of this. She can read in her head and she can talk her own words, but she can't talk reading
I'm not
words.
a good reader out loud.
What's after Warlock?
Mage.
Okay, so I'll do Warlock then. You can do Mage. As long as I get to hit up Shaman.
Shaman is the last one, so yeah.
Okay, so Warlock rune for the belt is Invocation, which sounds like a mage spell. Refreshing Corruption, Immolate, Curse of Agony, or Siphon Life when it has less than 6 seconds duration remaining will cause you to deal instant damage to the target equal to 1 period of that spell's periodic damage.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah, cool. Now I want to see something that spreads them, though. Dance of the Wicked, going onto your boots. You and your demon pet gain dodge chance equal to your spell critical strike chance each time you deal a critical strike to an enemy, and also both regain 2% of maximum mana.
So that's your tanking rune,
I was gonna
basically,
say,
I
that
think.
sounds like a nice rune.
That's a great tanking rune. So we got Mage next.
Like, does it tell you where we have to find them?
No, we're supposed to figure that out. That's the fun, that's the discovery part. And there's also going to be many more runes. I'm assuming they're not releasing only 2 runes. So there's going to be more slots
I might
and more
have-
runes probably.
So boots and belt, we don't already have something on those. These are going to
No,
be
each
extra slots.
phase is getting new slots. Until by the end all of the slots are runeable.
Oh, I didn't even clue in. So we don't have to replace our current runes.
no, these
that
are
is
additional
so
slots.
Sweet.
Because I was
Yeah.
just thinking, because it's your chest, your legs, and your
Gloves.
Gloves.
So now we've got boot and belt. Next phase will probably be like, I don't know, like shoulder and wrist or something. And then like helmet
Did
and
I
neck.
know
like,
something
who knows?
before Al did?
Really realized something, yeah.
Yeah,
for sure.
realized.
I think I say head and shoulders will probably be the last
What about your
ones.
knees and toes?
Head and shoulders always seem to be the last things that get enchanted.
Yeah, they might be the last ones. I wonder if they're going to have us putting runes on neck and finger slots.
Speaking of which, I got a new neck and a new finger.
Okay.
I reached honored.
Oh, okay. I was like, I don't know where you're going with this, but okay. So mage next. We've got missile barrage. Oh, this stuff. This helps your healing.
This
Your
this
mage
this
then.
makes me think I might want to roll a mage.
So missile barrage gives your arcane blast a 40% chance, and your fireball and frostbolt chance. Oh man. Okay, I'm going to start that one over. Gives your arcane blast a 40% chance, and your fireball and frostbolt spells a 20% chance to reduce the channeled duration of your next arcane missile spells by 50% and reduce the mana cost by 100%, and the missiles will fire every 0.5 seconds, which I guess they fired every second before, was it?
Yeah.
So basically you blast them off faster, and it doesn't take any mana.
You are going to pew pew like no over like
so
And
maybe
arcane
my
missiles,
I'm
arcane
gonna
damage,
start
that'll
that
help your
over.
healing.
You're gonna
And-
pew pew like you've never pew pewed before.
if
Maybe I'll go
she
back to
plays
my
her mage. And then Chronostatic Preservation fuses arcane fire and frost magic to freeze chronomatic energy into a stored state for later use. You can hold this energy up for up to 15 seconds before it combusts and expires. When unleashed, it heals a friendly target for 665 to 998
BRBR.
health. This spell is considered arcane fire and frost for interactions with other spells, talents, and effects.
Wow.
So that sounds confusing as far as the spell goes. There's several steps to that spell. I don't think you'll like that spell.
No.
And then last and probably least,
Shaman.
Shaman.
So, Spirit of the Alpha.
Oh, you're
Going-
skipping to the middle one.
Well, no, this is what's on top of my list.
Oh, see, mine starts with the other one.
I have the same list as Josh. How are you?
I don't know how, but it doesn't matter. I'm just going to read it in a little bit of an order. Rune, Spirit of the Alpha. This goes on your boots. Infuses the target with the spirit of an alpha wolf, increasing all threat generated by the target by 45% for 30 minutes. Limit. Ooh, it's an imbue on your boots.
Yeah, so I'm assuming you
Limit
can put
one
it on
target.
yourself if you're tanking, or if you're not the tank, you could probably put that on the tank, right?
Like I say, you know what,
So it's
Josh,
like
you'd be
a-
the alpha today.
It's like a long-term misdirect, or whatever the rogue one's called. What's the rogue one called? No, what's it called? Tricks of the trade.
Tricks of the trade.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah.
So what are the other ones there?
So this one is also a belt because the first one wasn't a belt.
Yes.
So the next, this okay. Starting over. So this one goes on your belt. Maelstrom weapon. When you deal damage with a melee attack, you have a chance to reduce the cast time of your next lightning bolt, chain lightning, lesser healing wave, chain heal, or lava burst spell by 20%. Stacks up to 5 times last 30 seconds. We all know what that is if you played a shaman before.
That's
Maelstrom
your
weapon.
that's a
don't.
great
So-
ability you get.
Each of your attacks gives you a chance to give you a charge of Maelstrom weapons, which will reduce the casting time of some of your spells. And if you get 5 stacks, it's basically an instant cast.
Fun fact about it, though, it's more efficient to blow that at 3 stacks than 5, because as long as you get the cast time in between your weapon timer, like if you're using slow weapons, you don't want to wait till 5. You want to hit it at 3 and then blast off a lightning bolt in between weapon attacks.
So all this time, I've been lied to that actually just blasting my load before I hit max is not a bad thing.
Yeah, no, it's not a bad thing. You gotta blow your load early with the Maelstrom weapon.
And then two-handed mastery for your chest or robe.
Don't guys do that normally?
Put two-handed mastery on our chest or robe?
I'm a little behind of my comment.
You want a little what? You're
Blow your
behind?
load too early?
What does this have to do with your little behind, Sam?
She wants you to blow your load early in her little behind.
Sam, why?
She wants to become. What do they call them? What is that? What is that bag that you have? Where you decorate a cake through it? Is it a bunting
A
bag?
piping
Or-
bag?
No, that's
Piping
just
bag.
It's a piping bag.
piping bag. She wants you to turn her butt into a little piping bag.
Ew.
Sam, that's gross.
That is not what I meant.
All right, edit. Okay, final shaman, two-handed mastery. Yeah, I got that too. Each time you strike an enemy with two-handed weapons, you gain 30% attack speed with two-handed weapons for 10 seconds. I don't like using two-handed weapons. I guess I might have to give it a try.
But this might be trying to encourage it.
Yes, it's encouraging.
Because I mean there is upsides to two-handed weapons. You don't have the bad hit chance on your offhand, like the miss rate. There's some really good two-handed weapons, and with 30% attack speed increase, and each time you strike an enemy. So unless there's an internal cooldown on that could be up all the time. 30%'s a lot.
Yeah,
That could be good.
I'll try some two-handed fighting with my shaman for sure. Seems my shaman can do almost anything I want it to do.
Yeah.
Tank, dual wield, two-handed.
They're
Throw
a
a few
jack
heals
of all
out.
trades, a master of none.
I don't know. You said that their tanking was a little OP.
Well, that's what people say. I haven't grouped with a shaman in a raid. So I don't know.
You had them in SFK.
That's not a raid.
So yeah, those are the runes, folks.
Yeah, that's some of the runes. I'm sure there's going to be many more.
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
just a couple per class. And for some reason they felt the need to tell us a new robe / chess one with the shamans, but whatever. So now here's the part. This part I like this next part. So we're getting into the PvP event here. It is a zone wide PvP event, similar to Ashenvale, but so much different.
Yes, I read one quick thing about it that I liked.
So, well, I'm going to list off the things about it, and you tell me which one you like.
Is it in your notes? Because I've got...
It might be in my notes. So we've got the PvP event. It's called the Blood Moon.
Which had me thinking of your 7 Days to Die.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was wondering why that was in my head as a thing. So it is not player triggered. So it's on a solid 3-hour schedule. So everyone's going to know when it hits.
That's what I liked about it. It's Winter Grasp.
Yeah, that's the only thing I didn't like about the Ashenvale one, I think, is having to kind of guess. And I kept missing it by just little bits. And with it being, it's different layer to layer. So I have the add-on that tells me when it's going to start, right? So I'll follow that, and it'll say that both sides are at 95%. So I'll fly to the zone, or I'll switch to my character camped out there, and the event's almost done. Because the layer that I popped into, it started 10 minutes earlier. And I've missed so many because of that, because I don't want to go sit there for half an hour waiting for it. So it's on a solid schedule, and that schedule, AV... Ashenvale is also going to be on a set schedule now, also 3 hours, and they're going to stagger them, so they're never going on at the same time.
Ooh.
So you don't have to worry about missing one.
Bluff and get like 5 buffs in a row.
I'll get to that. So it is 3 times. Okay, so it lasts 30 minutes. It's a zone-wide PvP, and rewards are from actual PvP. So you get... Oh, and it's a free-for-all. So as Horde, we can PvP other Horde. Like, it's a zone-wide, just free-for-all, like battle royale, everyone against everyone. You can group.
That makes sense for Stranglethorn Vale.
Yeah, it is kind of cool. And the rewards are from the PvP. So you get, like, currency from killing players. And then you build that currency up, and you can go to the vendor, and you can buy your rewards. There is no there is no PvE targets to this event. So it is a pure PvP event. It is a free-for-all. And you earn currency to buy your rewards. So,
everything.
PvE is player versus environment, I think, instead of player versus player.
PV meant. I just didn't know what the E
I think
was.
it's environment. Yeah, player versus enemy. I've never really thought too hard about it. So they are discouraging raid groups. Apparently, there is going to be a strong negative to being in a raid group in this PvP event. They didn't say, they were kind of vague with it, so maybe the rewards are diminished, maybe you don't get the rewards at all. They didn't say you couldn't group, so I'm assuming this means that you can still like group up with 2 or 3 friends or even up to a 5-man.
Yeah, but you might still be susceptible to friendly fire.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe. So can you friendly fire, accidental friendly fire actually might be fun.
Yeah, by the way, environment.
Is it environment? I thought so. You can opt out of this zone-wide free-for-all, but PvP server rules still apply. So you wouldn't be killable by your own faction, but you'd still be killable by other factions.
So if you opt out to not be killable by your own faction, are you still going to garner any reward?
No, you get no rewards if you opt out.
So you either go all in or just the tip?
Yeah, you have to be involved.
Just the tip.
There's no just the tip in this event. And as I said, there's no PvP objectives, but there is this Chosen of Loa or something. I can't remember exactly what it's called. But it's basically, they said, remember the Fell Reaver in Hellfire? That style thing. Like, this thing will wreck you if it gets you. And they're going to be patrolling the zone or spawn at certain points. I don't know.
Are they going to rework Stranglethorn Vale for this thing to be patrolling it?
Well, it's only going to be it's going to be during the 30-minute event every 3 hours. Yeah. So basically, every 3 hours... For 30 minutes, Stranglethorn is just going to be a chaotic mess. It's going to be so fun.
I'm going to need a new computer.
And
all right, guys, we're going to do a fund me new computer.
Go fund Al so he can actually play. And they've also confirmed that I said AV rep, but that's not right. Arathi Basin rep. They confirmed that Arathi Basin rep is going to be associated with this event. There's going to be ways to get your rep up with it. So
nice.
They're also another interesting fun fact. You know how Ashenvale. You could get
mounts.
Oh, there said there'd be no world buff associated with it like the Ashenvale one, but there was no world buff with the Ashenvale one. Maybe they meant the drums. There's going to be no raid buff either way. There's going to be no raid buff or world buff associated with the STV event.
The boon is the world buff for Ashenvale.
That's from the raid. That's from BFD.
I knew that.
So there's going to be no world buff associated with the STV raid.
Yeah.
Also, the Black Fathom's Depths world buff is going to cap out at level 39.
Yeah.
So you can't get it or use the drums, I'm assuming. I think that's what they mean by
The drums
the world
are
buff.
annoying, by the way.
They're good, though. 2 hours of plus 5% healing and damage. They're just annoying because you didn't use it and you tried to do the quest.
Yeah, so I used it and tried to do the quest.
Did they not let you?
It didn't drop. On the first one, I said,
Did you still have the buff up?
I had the buff up. So I clicked the buff off. I got another one. I did get the drop. I'm
Okay.
like, okay, so I used the drums, but you can't pick up the quest item if you're affected by the buff.
Yeah.
Like, okay, that's just dumb.
That's kind of funny, actually. But yeah, so that's the PvP event. The PvP event, I think it sounds like a lot of fun. Like, I think it's going to be fun.
The thing is, I'm actually smart enough now to realize, okay, this has got to be it then. Because before I would have just stressed about it and
Yeah.
done research, said, you know what, click the buff off. Worst case scenario, I'll have drums in 5 minutes.
Yeah, true. So moving on from the PvP to professions. There's some professions.
You didn't mention something.
What didn't I mention?
They do give us some information on 2 of the PvP rewards.
Oh, right. They did list a
Mouse?
couple of the rewards.
There's the Ember Blood Seal,
Finger item.
which is a 9 stamp, 6 int, increases damage done by fire spells and effects up to 16.
Oh, they did say the PvP rewards are class specific as well. So that's a mage
Nice.
item.
Yes, and this next one,
It's a warrior.
I'm going to say, it's Warrior.
It says right on it, yeah.
Well, that could go for Shamans too. Why not?
But it's a class specific. So we don't know what the
but
shaman reward is.
10 strength, 6 agi for a dual wielding shaman. Why not?
Well, I'm sure there will be a nice shaman one too, but that's the warrior one.
And that's the Sanguine Skull Crusher. The Bloody Head Basher, basically.
I feel like sanguine is not the pronunciation. Oh, also mounts. I forgot to mention the
Yeah.
mounts.
So that one is 10 strength, 6 agi. And nothing else. That's it.
Faction agnostic mounts. So I guess there's one for Horde one. Oh no, it looks like they're like anyone can get them. Either one. So Alliance could get the dinosaur. Horde could get the saber-toothed cat. I mean, you can go however way you
Yeah,
want.
because it got the little Pippin on both of them.
And they're for level 40. So I wonder if they're only for Stranglethorn Vale or if you can use those mounts everywhere. They didn't say they were specific to Stranglethorn.
Well, by level 40, you actually get the
I know,
riding
so
skill.
that's why I'm wondering if you can now ride those mounts everywhere.
Yeah,
I'm hoping so.
I'm going to give a hard yes to that.
Yes. Oh, and one more thing. Okay, so I was going to move on to professions, but one more PvP thing. They did talk about PvP matchmaking. I didn't really make any notes about that because it's something I've never really cared a whole lot about. But the issue that some people have had is if you go into a battleground as a single player and join like a random group of people and you come up against a pre-made, it can be just a bad time.
Yes.
So they're prioritizing group sizes. So if you join as a group of 5 in like a 15-man AB, I'm going to have a hard time saying AB, you're going to be prioritized, matched against other 5-person pre-made groups, and then 10 pugs. If you join as a 6-person group, prioritize 6 people. And then the only time you're going to have pre-mades running into full pug groups is if the queues are too long and they can't find an appropriate match.
Yeah.
So they're trying to match pre-mades against pre-mades when possible, which I think is nice. People that do pre-mades don't like it because they want easy wins, but I don't care what they want. That's silly to expect that. So that's another interesting change. People have been asking for changes to that for a long time, so it's kind of cool that they've done something. So on to professions. So your prediction that shoulders was going to be the new crafted item was wrong. It's helmets. But you were close.
It was a
It's
guess.
one of the 2 weird slots. I know it wasn't like a prediction as much as a guess, but yeah. So there's going to
That'd
be
be
new.
good because you know what? Up to the level 40 game, there wasn't a lot to choose from, if I
helms?
recall correctly, with
Yeah.
helms for crafting. So having a nice craftable helm would be a refreshing change. It'd be
Yeah.
a good thing to discover.
And they're nice, like they're cool epic helms, but they all have on use abilities, and they're going to use new crafting materials. So if you look at the recipes, a bunch of those are things that you're like, oh, that doesn't exist in game. What is that? So there's going to be a new a new list of mats to farm, and they're hoping to develop a new economy around those mats. So there's going to be new stuff to farm, new crafting recipes.
Faintly glowing leather.
Yeah. So you got to find out where to get faintly glowing leather, Sam. You got to skin faintly glowing
I'm
things.
not a leather worker, so.
So
Skinner? But you can skin. You can sell the leather.
Oh, true.
It's something to make money off of.
So here's something that we should probably consider. Something I discovered playing a long time ago is that I had, as an alchemist, I discovered the transmute something to true silver. I think it's like silver to true silver. And I'm like,
Yeah.
why would you do that? There's not a lot of uses. But now I'm seeing there's this low background true silver plates. We might need a lot of true silver all of a sudden. That might be a good recipe to grab right now. You can buy that recipe right now.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does
Booty
look
Bay.
like true silver is involved in all 3 recipes that they're showing.
Yeah. Arcano filament.
Filamented.
You know what I had Valheim going through my head there. Flametal. The one thing that does stick out, I can see what's going to come out of the raid. It'd probably be the insulating niodine.
Oh
just
yeah,
need one
because
of
it's
those.
got the GN with the gnomes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's probably one like raid drop item in each of these recipes.
And
or
this,
something.
what is this bolt of mage weave?
I don't know. I've never heard of that. We'll have to discuss. That'll be something to discover.
I've already got quite a few
Where
of
to get
those.
this weird mage weave stuff.
I've got a couple bolts of mage weave already.
I've gotten a couple pieces of mage weave. Oh, from fishing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've gotten it from drops from killing hard
I
stuff.
got bolts of rune cloth too.
So they've announced where the professions are capped. It's going to be 225. So we're cutting it close, right?
We
For
said
the last
250.
I didn't say I was right.
I was looking at 250, but
It says 225 here.
but
It said
you
in the
can
video, at
craft
least.
things
Yeah.
for your level at 250. So they're gonna have to.
But
They're gonna be reworking the whole thing.
They are because I'm getting to that. So professions are capped at 225. The specializations aren't going to come until phase 3. And they said they are planning something special. I did air quotes for those of you who can't see me, which is none of you. All of you? All of you can't see me. I did air quotes. Profession specializations. Or no, sorry. Planning something special.
You gotta
don't
wave
count.
your hand in front of your face. You can't see me.
I'm not John Cena. He looks old now, by the way.
Well, he is.
Yeah, but that's not the point. We're not going into a John Cena thing. So planning something special for level 50 and 60 for professions. So, yes, Sam?
Can I say something before we move on?
She's just doing a very thick
Yes.
elf or loser.
How come on these patterns, 2 of them have sell price, but the other one doesn't?
I don't know.
Okay.
They didn't copy and
They must have
paste
just
that one.
It's a different font. It was probably just a different. Maybe the person that took that screenshot didn't have the add-on that says sell prices, because you need an add-on for that. It's not default.
Okay.
So I was almost half right, because remember I said maybe they would just leave it at at the way they go, and they'd add something extra for the level in 56 and 60 profession phases. So they are doing that. They're adding something special, unspecified, for 50 and 60, because there's not going to be a lot of profession skills, and there's going to be a little bottleneck of not much stuff available. So they're adding a little something special that they're not saying what it is. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. And specializations are not available till phase 3. I guess originally they were available at 225. You could specialize, but now you can specialize in phase 3. So, ambulance. So yeah, there's going to be. I feel like they're going to be doing a lot of cool things with professions in the last 2 phases, which will be cool because I love professions.
So we mentioned the helms.
Yeah.
We didn't mention the people that can't make helms, i.e., alchemists and enchanters. So whoever took this screenshot's an enchanter, but not an alchemist, apparently.
So did you see that there with the enchanting and alchemy stuff?
Yeah. So you can enchant. Oh, you can conjure a sigil. I don't know where it goes.
It's a consumable.
Okay. So you gain an enchanted sigil of innovation, empowering you to deal up to 20 increased damage and healing with spells and increased attack power by 20 for 30 minutes. So it's basically a buff for yourself.
Yeah, it's a self buff.
Yeah, and you can only put it on outside of combat. Now this next one, this alchemy, I keep reading it wrong, and I keep seeing mildly irritated rejuvenation potion.
Let's go with that.
I'm thinking, wow, that's for me. Mildly irradiated rejuvenation potion.
Yeah.
Restores 262 to 438 mana and 340 to 460 health. Also increases attack bar by 40 and damage done by all spells for 35. That's like putting 2 potions in one there.
Yeah, it is. So what? Yes, Sam?
So would that be like one of those consumables that you have to do before, or can you click like your health or mana
The
potions?
irritated rejuvenation potion, you could use that in combat. Because it's
mildly irritated?
Mildly irritating. Because it's a health and mana potion.
Only alchemists can use it.
Yeah, so the explanation they gave in the video for that is all the other professions.
Not just alchemists, but alchemists that are at 225.
Yes, so you have to
But
max
it's
it
not
out.
like I can make them and hand them
No,
out.
you can't hand them out. So the reasoning was that the other professions add to player power. So like blacksmithing, you can make yourself gear to wear, like with the new recipes and stuff, right? And you can get new stuff, like you can get buffs through gear with the other professions, but enchanting and alchemy, you cannot. You're only making potions and enchants that anyone can use. So they wanted a buff for the person that has the skill. So basically, you're getting a little mini world buff with enchanting the last half an hour, and you're getting a cool new attack power and spell power buff potion with the alchemy. So you're not just a utility for everybody else kind of thing. You're actually buffing yourself as well by taking those professions.
So the one thing I do want to say is that all of these things require unique ingredients. So I am thinking that this enchanted sigil of innovation, the screenshot's been cut off because if this only requires 3 dream dust, that is a really, we'll call, I'm going to air quote everybody, overpowered, epic craft.
Because do you know how much dream dust I have on my alchemist?
No, this is
I'm
not
going
the
to
alchemist,
assume
it's the
none
enchant.
because that's an enchanting mat.
Then I'm not thinking of the right
And
character.
it also comes from like level 40 stuff. So I'm going to
Never
assume you
mind.
don't have any.
I'm thinking of the wrong character.
But
Probably.
dream dust, it starts to be, well, it did become plentiful.
Oh, it will be.
So I'm
That's
just thinking there's
interesting,
got to
though,
be,
that
there's
you
going
say
to be
that the
more.
screenshot, it might be cut off. Maybe there's a mystery mat that they don't want us to know about.
It's going to be something to do with tainted iodine.
Okay, so let's move on to the next thing because we can't make this too long or I'm not going to have time to edit it.
Just
before.
want to say one quick thing to
Okay.
all of those that said this is not World of Warcraft Plus. You guys are, you know what? There's a lot of new shit here. So you people, you doubters,
This is Classic Plus. Everybody that says this isn't Classic Plus
Yeah.
is lying to
you
themselves.
guys don't like it, don't play, but stop knocking
Okay,
it.
so real quick, there's
No
some catch
more
up.
GTTAK.
No, don't spoil the ending, Sam.
Edit.
There's some leveling, there's some catch up mechanics they're adding. So basically Joyous Journeys from level 1 to 25. They're calling it something else, but it's Joyous Journeys from level 1 to 25 so you can catch up. They said, well, what are people going to do who have used up all their quests and don't have quests to do for EXP anymore? So they've now added so that BFD, the raid, will give like crazy good experience. Like really good experience.
So I have to get into BFT.
You don't have to get into BFD. Like, say you get from level 25 to 30, you're level 30 now. We take a group into BFD and just like wreck that place for experience.
Like a group, like you don't need a group of 10.
You'd still need a group. Also, Waylaid supplies are going to have, they called it greatly increased experience. So I'm thinking you're going to get a good chunk of experience. You could farm those for experience now. So that would be, don't fiddle with your knobs.
Stop.
So you're going to get a lot of experience from that. They're also revamping them a little bit so to make them less frustrating. And I added my note, LOL, people are whiners. Waylaid
was
supplies were
frustrating.
never frustrating. You're just annoying.
Well, because they wanted it all and they want it now.
Yeah. So there's new turn-ins, and they said it will be very rewarding to do these Waylaid supplies and to make and sell the things for the Waylaid supplies. So again, that's going to be a good economy thing, a good gold maker if you're making stuff and selling them for Waylaid supplies. So they very vaguely hinted that they were working on the botting issues. They don't want to say what they're doing because as soon as they say what they're doing, people are going to find a way around it. So
I
they
read
are...
that as they are working on the bottling issue.
Yes, they're having a
Can none
difficulty.
of us read today?
No, that is not our strong point. So yeah, they're being very vague about it for a reason. They insist that they definitely care and they definitely want to solve the botting issues. Again, they say this. I don't know if I believe it, but they say they sincerely want to get rid of the botting. One thing that makes me think that might actually be true, though, is the last thing to announce is, Sam, do you want to yell it into the microphone?
No more GDKPs.
Yes, no more GDKPs. So they're saying they are going to ban GDKPs. I don't know how they're going to enforce it exactly. Gold DKP.
Okay.
DKP standing for Dragon Kill Points. It was a thing. They got nothing to do with dragons anymore. It's a word that is followed.
Minus 50 GDKB.
GDKP.
You guys can say it so fast.
I've practiced.
Actually, meant to say DKB, so I did say
yeah,
wrong.
they say they're doing this to preserve traditional guild and social structure because it'll stop people from joining these GDKP groups and just kind of doing their runs through that. They also hope that it will reduce real money transfers.
I was going to ask what RMT meant.
Or real money transactions, rather. Basically gold selling, because if you don't need gold to get your raid gear, then you're not going to need to buy gold. And we'll go back to the good old days of needing gold for mounts and consumables, and that's it. You're not buying your raid gear anymore, so there's going to be a lot less demand for gold. That might also help the botting issue.
Now,
I'm behind that.
out of all three of us, who has enough for the mount at 40?
I do, and you do as well, I think.
I know, I just...
We've still got like 2 weeks. We got like a week and a half. We got a week and a half still.
Well, we still have to make it to 40, too.
Yeah.
So-
because I'm not going to be 40 in 2 weeks.
So now here's the thing with the GDKPs. There are going to be a section of people that whine insufferably because they can't do their GDKPs anymore. I say, I don't care what you think.
I got something I want to say to them.
What? Oh, that was a loud laugh. But yeah, I'm glad they're getting rid of it. I've never been like anti GDKP, but I am great in a world without it. I don't need it. I don't do them. No, I haven't done a bunch. I've done like a couple.
Can you imagine how calm our trade chat will become?
Yeah, a lot less.
Oh, can I turn it back on?
Oh, I turned off general chat, trade chats on. I've had general chat turned off in Season of Discovery basically since the beginning. Because as great as Season of Discovery is, and I love it, man, some of the people that play it are annoying. I cannot stand general chat. People just need to shut up sometimes. Like, really, I don't care. Anything you have to say, shut up and stop talking.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure they do it intentionally just to be trolls and to annoy people, but seriously, get a life.
Let's see how some of these people that start to show off all their geared tunes. Yeah, look at all this stuff. Now that they can't buy their gear, let's see how they act.
Yeah. Now, that said, I'm not entirely sure how they're going to enforce it. Because if you're setting it up and communicating over Discord...
Mass reporting and bot block.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about the GDKPs. I don't know how they're going to enforce it. I'm sure they have a way.
Yeah, bot block.
What bot? They're going
to have their own bots, and if we mass report, they're going to put those bots in to just kick them out, and then those people can fight to come back in.
Huh? For the GDKPs?
Yeah, if everybody reports the same person, that person will get blocked.
But who's reporting?
Us.
Well, how are you gonna know what's going on?
You right click somebody who advertises a GDKP.
Oh no, for advertising. Yes, I'm saying if you're coordinating it in Discord. Like you don't have to.
I had to explain that way too much, so I'm a little bit exhausted now.
I didn't understand what you were saying.
It's okay.
Yeah, you can report people. I mean, but if they ban GDKPs, people aren't going to advertise them in general chat anymore. Like they'll still like. I'm sure people will still try. I'm just curious how they're going to enforce it.
You know what?
What?
How do they find people who buy gold? So there's probably going to be that same transfer of large amounts of cash.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they can track that stuff with in-game software. Maybe, like, I don't know, but...
Maybe they'll hire somebody to GM the game.
They're not going to hire anybody. They just laid off 1,000 people. Nobody's getting hired.
If they laid off 1,000 people, they can afford one or two to monitor GDKBs.
I would hope so. So we've got... Now Season Discovery, I think that's their...
GDKB.
JDKP.
GDKB.
Are we almost done?
Yeah, we're pretty much done. Okay. So just to close
do
it
you have
out,
the GDKP?
No, my coffee has kicked in.
Are you like you're having an issue?
You're ready to explode.
So real quick before we finish, what is everybody's excitement level for Phase 2?
Yay!
Does this sound cool?
Not know which one I want to play. If I want to play my hunter to get that rune or the
it's only 15
both?
levels.
I know, but which one do I want to focus on first is my question.
What do you think you'll have more fun with?
I don't know, but we
You can go. You can go. We're just signing off.
Play the one that you think you want to play. And if you're not having fun, stop and play the other.
So should we sign off with our Chat GPT?
But do you guys know which one you want to start with your main?
It's going to be Rogue or Shaman. Probably
it's
Shaman.
It's going to be Druid or Hunter. I'll probably play one with you and one by myself.
But I might want to use my Rogue more for the PvP.
The PvP will be. I'm looking forward to the PvP. I will probably completely abandon my Warrior. I don't.
Because I'll be dead the entire time.
It'll be fun though.
I'm not good at PvP.
You don't have to be because it's going to be it's not organized. It's going to be a mass free for all. It's going to be
so
fun.
We could kill each other.
Yeah, be a hunter. Be a hunter and just like hide and like snipe people from the bushes while they fight each other.
Yeah.
Like just
be a
hunter and be a jerk.
I got taken out by a hunter yesterday because I rezzed. So yeah, I had half health, but
yeah,
I rezzed and I didn't really. Oh crap! I'm surrounded by alliance.
Yeah. I think PvP wise, your play style is suited more to hunter than any other class because it allows you to sit back and kind of be a jerk. And not be particular like no hunters are good at PvP because they don't have to be. Okay. So
I remember once I got tapped really badly by a hunter, and so I did a little search. Thank God you can find out what they were using on the internet, and I said, "Oh, I need that." So I went and I got some of those heirloom weapons, and I started knocking out a few people. You can knock people down like nothing.
Maybe they'll add heirloom weapons eventually.
I hope not. I don't want them.
So anyways, I'm going to, let's sign out with our new Chat GPT generated sign off.
How are we going to do that? Is it going to be a one person show?
Do you want to say it this time?
Well, there's 2 sentences.
Well, how do we want to do it then?
Well, I don't know. Sam, do you want to say something?
Do you want to say a sentence this time, Sam?
Which one is it?
I can say the last sentence if you guys want to split up the first.
Sam?
No, you guys do it this time.
So I'll say the first sentence, you say the second sentence? We good? Do you want me to start?
Yeah, but I mean, that's a big sentence. Like, Sam, you can always join in halfway.
I need to go to the bathroom, so you guys just
Sam's going to go pee and we'll do the sign-off.
Okay.
Remember, folks, in the game of life, may your critical hits be frequent, your saves always successful, and your respawn timer short.
Until next time, keep gaming and keep it casual.